here. Make sure that it stays live, and we'll re-say it. Hey, you. That's a good girl. We're gonna back up just a little bit here.
There you go. Good girl.
Yeah. We have that first come in.
I thought the surrender for Tuesday or Thursday.
No, it's an emergency one that came in. All right. Okay, so I think we are live. Let me check here, and then we're gonna have Jason and John keeping an eye on it, because it dies randomly and we don't have control over that. So come on, get the app open. Make sure that this is good, and then Dr. Nancy and I will fill you in. Say it's working. Okay. All right, so we're going to have to back her up a little bit so people can actually see both of us in here. Come on, back up. Back up.
It's a good girl.
All right, so hi, everyone. Okay, so I think...
Oh, the fly's bothering you, sweetie.
Okay, so we are both in a good position. Okay. All right, so we're going to start over again, because we were sitting out here talking away, and we got John yelling, "It's not working!" So we started over again. So the internet that we have here is not great for doing lives in the barn, and it will randomly go off, and we can't control that. The weather can make it go crazy. Come on, girlie, back up.
Yeah.
All right, there we go.
go.
The weather can make it go crazy. There's just a whole host of things. We're not out here randomly turning it on and off. And there are security cameras that we have on site that would let us know if somebody was tampering with it. So that's not a concern. So last week when it went off, we didn't get it going again because we knew the girls were going to go in and get their feet done. And then they ended up staying over there just because it was better for everybody. And then we had a horrible storm come through with a big tornado, ripped up a bunch of houses in our community. Thankfully, it didn't come here, but there's still, I think, like 2,000 people without power and internet. Our phone company provides the internet, so when there's issues with our internet, I just ask that you be patient. We're not trying to hide things.
Exactly.
And one person was kind of hateful, left us a message, and I'm going to play it for you all, because we're trying, the horses come first, and if we're out and doing stuff, like yesterday, I was like, oh, we need to get the live cam going with Kissimmee. Candy's still in the other barn, but it was very busy. Mondays are very, very busy days. So the animals come first, then we can try to get this going. So I'm going to play this message, and then we'll talk about it.
I'm watching and following your channel, but you haven't had an update on the pregnant mares for 8 days. So what's up with that? You need to put something up there. We're donating, and this is really aggravating. Why are you not putting them up there and letting people see what's going on with them? Do we need to call the Humane Society? We will. No problem. This is not acceptable. You put it up there, and then you pull it down when you feel comfortable to do so, and you say it's a technical difficulty. Well, you know what? I'm an audio engineer. Buy equipment, and there won't be a technical difficulty. I think it's more about you hiding things. You need to put it up there immediately. Otherwise, the Humane Society will be called. And you call yourself a Humane Society, but you are not. You're not the state. You're not the state.
Okay, so that was her hateful message, and I understand y'all like watching the feed, and we've said from the beginning we'll keep it up and as going as much as possible. The intention is that it will stay live as much as possible, but we've had a lot of complications. And, you know, calling us up and threatening us, it's not okay. That's hateful. And her statements are that we're not a humane society. We are a humane society. We are a 501c3 nonprofit humane society. And then she says we're not the state. Well, we are a certified animal control agency recognized in the state of Tennessee. That means we're a certified animal control state agency for animals. And that entails a state veterinarian coming out and a whole bunch of stuff. So her statements were just hateful and untrue for the most part. She said we could buy equipment. That's not going to change the internet problem. And it would take a whole lot of resources to bring the internet from the office and digging underground a ditch to get the internet where we can plug it in here. And the goal would be like, once they're gonna have their babies, like unless they just pop, which that's possible, is to get them over to the veterinarian hospital. And you know, if they're doing okay here, that's one thing. But if we know they're gonna pop, we have a very nice foaling stall. But we did want to just update you all a little bit. We had a horrible tornado come through. The internet does wonky things when the weather's crazy. Prior to this live, we were trying to do it again, and we were out here talking and talking and talking, and then we found out it wasn't even going, and we didn't try to shut it off. It just randomly does things. The video, we're using an iPhone for the live, and you can see it's a little old iPhone, little case there, and it's doing the best job it can with the internet we have. We're not looking to go spend, you know, a whole bunch of money to buy something that we could use the money to help the animals. So hopefully that answers a few questions. Now we'll jump in with how the girls are doing. Now Candy is still at the training barn, and that is important because we need to get where we can handle her more. Hello, Birdie.
Kissimmee wants all the attention.
Let's back up. Okay.
Come on, sweetie.
All right. So we're not hiding anything. We're not doing anything like that. We're just trying to take care of them in the best situation for them.
Yeah, because for me personally, the horses come first. I know everybody loves watching them on camera, but you got to remember they're the first priority. And again, the lowest priority on my list of things of the day is if the baby cam's down and I've got other animals that needed to be tended to, that's my priority. For them, even though you don't see me a lot on the camera, I'm still checking on them that way. If you're watching that on the Kissimmee, I did palpate her last week when she got her feet trimmed, and baby's still down low, so we still got a little time on her. She's not making any udder development right now along the way, and that's a priority. And I know from the time we put them in here, there's been people complaining of, well, they're on sand. Well, guess what? We have all fescue here in Tennessee, so we have to be concerned on fescue. And yes, I've foaled mares out on 100% fescue and never had an issue with milk, but guess what? You can't take a risk on that one mare not having milk. So again, it's one of those of somebody's always not happy regardless of what we're doing. So again, and as you heard the video, sometimes I get a little hateful in the comments, and
that's not fun for us.
No, and we appreciate the donations and everybody being so emotionally invested in here. But remember, we're doing right by the animals. That's the first priority that way. And again, Candy needs a little more ground manner work. She was turned out in the field before she was brought to auction. Probably hadn't been handled in a while. We have to be able to safely handle baby, at least to do treat the navel and do the enema. And worst case, and then we do also need to check blood for IgG levels. We have to at least do those, which is 2 separate handlings. And if everything's good, that's perfect. But we need to be prepared to handle Candy if something is wrong with the baby, to be able to work safely for the baby, for the mare, and for all the humans too. So that's why she's still in the training barn. She needs a little refresher course on her basic ground manners of putting her halter on, being tied that way. So we kind of gave her time to chill out, not stress her. But as we're progressing closer to baby coming, we need to get those groundwork where we need it to be. So she's going to disappear because of that. Not that we're hiding anything, and there's no internet over there in that barn. It's a dead zone.
If you walk into there and you're on your phone, it dies.
Yeah.
So we do have some exciting news about Kissimmee. So we are an agency that rescues animals and adopts animals out. And if a qualified home comes along, even if they're pregnant and it's the right home, we're going to adopt them. So Kissimmee did have one of our viewers on this live, reach out and want to adopt her. Now she's sent in all her stuff, everything's good. Dr. Nancy's monitoring Kissy all the time, making sure that she's doing good, and Kissimmee is going to be adopted. Dr. Nancy is actually going to go halfway on the transport just to make sure she's doing really good. Because you know she is very pregnant, but it doesn't look like she's going to have a baby anytime too soon.
So it's better to transport her sooner than as she gets further and further along.
But any horse can surprise you. But that's why Dr. Nancy is going to be there assisting, making sure that she's fine. She's going to get rested along the way. All for the best. So we're going to have a live cam up as much as we can. We can't guarantee that it is all the time, but know that the horses are being taken care of very well. We're watching them. They're right outside our office, and we have office people that are watching constantly. We also have security cameras on site that are monitoring everything. I know a lot of people are like saying that the horses were getting rat poison in their food and people were tampering with the camera. The security cameras don't show that. So no worries there. Don't go down any rabbit trails. But they're doing fine. Candy's in the training barn. Kissimmee is here. Kissimmee will be leaving to go to her new home, and everything is up to par, and we have a special travel plan for her, and so she'll actually have her baby at her new home, and they'll have their vet. Everything's good. So we know that you'll miss seeing her. We don't plan on Candy leaving the facility simply because of her training level. Kissimmee is a horse you can lead, you can do these things, so a veterinarian can get in and treat the baby. Candy's a little bit of a different scenario. Even with her training that she's getting, she's still not going to want, somebody to be around her or the baby. So that's why she will be staying here. We'll try to keep it going, no guarantees. And again, we're thankful for everyone's support. We know that there's a few, squeaky wheels out there, and the squeaky wheel squeaks the loudest. I just wanted to address some of the concerns. I hope you enjoy the live cam. And it will go as long as it can, but we're not trying to turn it off and hide things. We're in a very rural area, and we're not buying equipment just for this. If somebody wanted to donate the entire amount for us to get live cams all over the place, we'd be happy to. We're not going to be taking rescued money, money donated to rescue horses away to purchase live cam equipment. So that is something, if you'd like to see more of this, you're welcome to donate. We are going to take off because we have a horse coming in that is currently colicking that's going to be surrendered to us, and we don't know what all that's going to look like. So take care. Actually, they're pulling in right now.
Okay,
so
we will go take care of the colicking horse, but Miss Kissimmee here, she's now closer to the camera. Enjoy her until she starts her transport to her new home.
You're going to have such a beautiful baby.